The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the newest venture of the Missouri Sports Network and Playing on Sports, Missouri Milestones, the podcast. This is Season 1, Episode 1. It is May 22nd, 2025. I want to welcome everybody in. Hey, do us a favor. Go to our YouTube page and subscribe. Go to our Facebook page and like us and give us a follow on Twitter. Certainly glad everybody's tuning in here this morning. If you're already at work or where you may be headed, hey, take that 3 seconds and put that seatbelt on. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Well, hey, there have been few ventures that have given me as much joy as this one has, tracking down or walking down a little bit of memory lane here over the past 2 months, getting to see some folks that not only had I heard of, but I played with or played for or played against. It's certainly been enjoyable, and this is part of the Missouri Milestones. We're going to talk here in the first few weeks of this segment about the career 1,000 scores between boys and girls at the high school level. And again, the only requirements is you scored 1,000 career points at a Missouri high school institution, whether it be private school or public school. There's no membership dues. There's no secret handshakes. You don't have to tip the valet at the door. You're automatically welcome into this club with 1,000 career points. This is a club that I'm not even a member of. So, hey, I hope that you enjoy this as much as we enjoy bringing it to you and checking out all the numbers. It's been an enjoyable 2 months in the process of putting a lot of these names together. Hey, and again, at the end of this, make sure you stay tuned because we have a special guest from 1983 that's on the list, and you'll be hearing directly from her. But Kent, before we get started, what do we got to cover?
Well, I want everyone to stay till the end. You won't want to miss what we have for you. Following this discussion is our first weekly video interview with a member of someone on our list. Today, we have an interview with Kim Scammon. Kim is a 1982 graduate of Rockport High. She then went on to have a great career at Northwest Missouri State, and I know you won't want to miss it. There's no question that our two basketball lists are the largest and most comprehensive lists of their kind in Missouri, and most likely the entire country. And we are just getting started. The interest that has been shown confirms that it's not just us, it's not just me or Guy. It's a lot of you out there who like these lists. There are a lot of reasons to like them. Hey, it's always fun to see your name on a list of accomplishment or someone you know, yet that is only part of it. Entire families take pride in the accomplishments of their sons, daughters, nieces, nephews, siblings, and grandchildren. It's also about that good feeling when a friend, a teammate, someone you have coached deserves recognition. There is school and community pride to see the accomplishments of current and past students. We see the pride in the faces and hear the pride in the voices of those who just crossed that threshold. We also see the smiles and hear the interesting and uplifting comments and remembrances of those who scored 1,000 points a few to many years ago. Yes, back when offenses were conducted at a slower, more methodical pace, back when you would see the stall game every once in a while. You don't see that much anymore. When freshmen didn't score because freshmen didn't play. And of course, there are those who scored 1,000 points from long range, but only got 2 points for them beyond what we now know as the arc. Guy, there is something here for every high school sports fan and really anyone who is a fan of our youth.
Well, where are these lists coming from? Obviously, we've reached out to athletic directors and maybe some parents, but a majority of these lists, and they're coming from several different places.
That's right. The Missouri high schools. But it is more interesting than that currently. There are almost 600 high schools that are members of the Missouri State High School Activities Association. All but a few play basketball. There are private schools, public schools. There are small and large schools. There are urban, suburban, and rural schools. All have their own unique characteristics, and they all like to play basketball. Of course, we want every listing from every school, but we don't ignore all those schools that have just closed their doors. We have athletes on our list from Bogard, Beaumont, Linnaeus, Stett, and Shell City high schools. Sadly, much of that is lost to history, but we will preserve all that we can. And there are a few schools, like Paseo High in Kansas City, that didn't close, but they de-emphasized athletics as they altered the mission of the school. That left 1,000-point scorers, such as Anthony Peeler, to be on a list that appeared to be capped and would no longer grow. But Paseo is back to playing basketball once again, and we are looking forward to celebrating their next 1,000-point scorer. Similarly, there are new schools opening each year, and it takes a while to score 1,000 points, but it will happen, and we will be here to help celebrate each school's first entrant on our list.
Well, how far back do these lists go?
Well, the earliest male so far is Bill Anderson, a 1952 grad of Marshfield. He scored 1,056 points in just 76 games, and of course, no three-point shot. We have athletes representing every class from then on through the 1950s, a total of 23 from that decade. We then build up rapidly in the 60s, more and more in each class. We have athletes from every class from 1952 on into the future. And I say into the future because we have 13 from the class of 26 on the list and even 2 from the class of 27. We will track those and provide updated totals as we get them. For the girls, the earliest is from the class of 1957 when Betty Craig scored 1,978 points for Southern Boone County. Those were very different years, being prior to Title IX and the adoption of the boys' rules into the girls' game. We will look at athletes on all sides of those defining points of time. The changing of the rules to match boys' basketball, the move to using the girls' basketball that better fits the female hand, and of course, the advent of the three-point shot. Our girls' entries are filling out, but yet a bit sporadic in the very early years. But we have athletes every year from 1977 on through to the class of 27. We already have 4 1,000-point scorers from that class who are rising juniors. Basketball goes way back. We will keep looking for 1,000-point scores from every year possible.
You know, as I look at these lists, and we've talked about this, I remember the Thomas Brock, at Mount Vernon scoring, the Fred Johnson at Wellington or Wellsville Middletown scoring, and he's still the all-time leader on the men's side. We got to visit with Hannah Wilkerson, who's number 2 now on the girls' side, who I grew up in her backyard, kind of, so to speak. I'm a lot older than her, but grew up right there in Halltown. We got to visit with her, Callie Biltner from Waynesville, who went on to have a tremendous college career at Lindenwood University and is still the all-time leading rebounder and leading scorer in Lindenwood history. She did get passed at Waynesville, though, just a few years ago on their all-time list, but it was great to catch up with her. So it's been very, very enjoyable and a very nostalgic walk down memory lane for me as well.
Now, that's interesting that someone would have their record past their high school record, but still hold their college record. I find that very interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's Megan McCowan. I'm sorry. She's at Lebanon. I apologize. I'm not, the name escapes me off the top of my head now who passed her at Waynesville, but just recently happened.
And one thing I found interesting is how enthused those are from the earlier years, how enthused they've been. They have very specific memories, not just of basketball and not just of a specific game, but drilling down to specific plays. I think that underlines the importance of high school athletics. They build youth into adults and provide memories that last a lifetime.
Yeah, you look at, we talk about these athletes from years ago, Jimmy Gummersbach in 1963. You'll get to hear from him next week. Fred Johnson in 1986, Bill Roundtree in 1982, that went on to set these records. But there are folks that are getting to those milestones right now that are still in high school.
That's right. Our objective is to get them all, especially the new ones each year. We only started less than 3 months ago, so we don't even have all of them from 2025. But we do have over 40 boys and about 30 girls from the class of 2025 who are members of the club. And we already have 13 boys from the class of 26 and 2 from the class of 27. For the girls, we already have 16 from the class of 26 and 4 from the class of 27. Some who will be increasing their totals before they are done include Addison Bourne of Park Hill South with 1,636 points and counting. Reagan Wabi of St. Elizabeth with 1,596 and counting. Also, Ava Miles of Staley with 1,190. And Evelyn Shane of Ursuline Academy, who has 1,008 with her senior year remaining. Braylon Turnbow is on the girls list with 1,159 with 2 years to go in her high school career. Other rising juniors on our list are Ella Goodrich of Knobnoster, Riley Cleatherms of Eugene, and Kinley Luna of Dora High. So, Guy, tell us who is the subject for this week's Missouri Milestone interview.
Well, it was a great pleasure to catch up with. I had my mic off. I need to be better at that. But it was a great pleasure to catch up with 1982 Rockport High School graduate Kim Scammon, who also went on to University of Central Missouri, where she was a star there as well, and I believe played on a national championship team there. But we'll hear from her after these messages from our sponsors. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'll have the avocado toast minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days.
Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck.
And a high-tech Chevy SUV.
Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together, we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to Where Are They Now Wednesday, an extended version of Where Are They Now Wednesday. Guy Newcomb alongside Kent Mueller, and it's a great pleasure to welcome to the show from Topeka, Kansas, but not a Topekian by birthright, but from Brockport High School, home of the Blue Jays, a graduate member of the Missouri Milestones Career 1000 list, Miss Kim Scammon. Kim, thanks so much for joining us today.
Appreciate you having me on.
And to be a member, there's no secret handshakes. You don't have to get through the matron at the door. You just have to have scored 1,000 points, and you did well over that in your career at Rockport High School going back to 1982. What do you remember about your time in high school playing basketball?
Basketball was the number one sport that I played. I came up playing against a lot of boys. There just weren't, as we kind of talked about, wasn't much with girls in those times. We were just really getting started. We were still using the big basketball. We're still using the boys basketball. And I think a lot of people probably even forget that kind of thing, but the ball didn't change size for quite some time later on. And so that was difficult in its own right. But we played a lot of ball on the playground that's right next to my house. High school boys would come over and they graciously let me play along with them at a younger age. And so I learned how to play ball against some guys back in that day. So,
well, your freshman year would have been that 1978-79 season.
Mm-hmm.
there. Talk a little bit about what it was like coming in, because you're only removed from Title IX, not even a decade. What was it like to get to play?
Yeah, it was interesting. The guys got first choice at the gym. We had what we called our multi-purpose room that we did a lot of practicing down there. And when the guys were done, we'd come down to the big gym and play. Sometimes we'd have early morning practices, 6 o'clock before school time. That we didn't do as much of that, but we did have to share the gym, and it was a little bit of a strain from time to time.
Looking back at just the history, and with Misha, their history goes back as far as titles, just goes back to 2000, 2008 to 2009, which isn't that long ago. But going back, you had an opportunity, I believe your junior year, to participate in the Final Four at Columbia. What was that like? It was
an exciting time. It was very much a whirlwind when we did it. We didn't have the best record going into district play, and we were actually had the luck of the draw. Basically, we had gone to Class 2A, so if we'd been in 1A, we would hit some really powerhouse teams and probably wouldn't have got where we got. But we were lucky to have gotten into 2A, and we just kind of hit a streak where we played well at the end. I think our overall season record was like 19-7, so we were just like 13-6 before we even got started into the playoffs, and we just got kind of on a roll. I got hot scoring wise, and we just went bang, bang, bang. And we didn't have much time to enjoy it until we got down there. But it was a very exciting time. Unusual because, of course, we'd never been there before. So we had the town and fans behind us too, but it was definitely a whirlwind.
As you look back at that time in high school, what did you guys do, on the weekends or the evenings where you weren't playing basketball? What was the music? I've been playing a little Statler Brothers here in my studio today. Big Statler Brother fan. The movie. What was the population of Rockport School at that time? How many folks were in your graduating class?
My class actually had one of the bigger classes in Rockport. We had 53, I believe it was, that actually graduated. So most of the classes were down in the mid to low 40s. Overall population of the high school, it had to be over the 200 and some mark, I think, for us to be up in the 2A. But small town, 1,500 when I was growing up. There wasn't a lot of things going on, a lot of driving up and down Main Street, I think, that a lot of kids did, that sort of thing. We lived on the end of the main street, so that was the turnaround area. So we'd see a lot of cars. But weekends, even if it wasn't basketball season, we were out playing basketball on the church lot that was next to my house. That was kind of the gathering spot for anybody that wanted to shoot baskets. That's kind of where everybody hung out.
Well, I grew up in a town very similar out in Kansas, so I can identify with all of that. I had 46 in my high school class. That was the biggest up until then and the biggest since. And they now have fewer than 70. But they just this last weekend, the girls not only they followed up their volleyball state championship in the lowest class with a girls basketball championship. So they like to play ball there too. And I'm curious, from that background, your transition into college basketball at Northwest Missouri State. You went there and made as big an impression there as you did in high school. It would just, if you tell us a little bit about that transition and what that was like.
Yeah, the transition was it was different for sure. Just going to a bigger that I had other offers places. That was just kind of the local place. I knew my parents and grandparents would be able to come see me play and that sort of thing. But what I remember going over there, Coach Wayne, my coach was Wayne Winstead, and he was a very easygoing, very likable, easy to talk to kind of guy. And it made you feel like a family once we got there. and all the girls, they were. I'm still good friends with most of them. They all took us in as freshmen, and we did a lot of preseason playing and just got knowing each other, and we just all kind of meshed. And my freshman year, we only had 2 seniors, so we didn't lose a lot, and we had a so-so season that year. But this year we actually we won our 20 games, I think it was, before we ever lost one, and then lost that one to Creighton, and then we actually qualified for the Division II NCAA tournament at that time, which was we hadn't been NCAA, I think maybe just a couple of years. I believe it was around 79 that they went from NAIA up to or AW up to NCAA. So that was an exciting time at that point too.
Well, who was your biggest rival? I don't know about bitterest, but the biggest rival in high school and the biggest rival in college?
Biggest rival in high school would have been Tarkio High School, 8 miles away from us there, so to speak. And I mean, it was just a knockout drag out every time we played them. In fact, my senior year in high school, we were 18-4, and we lost all 4 of those to Tarkio, probably within a total of 12 points, probably all 4 games. So they were just nip and tuck, but they got the best of us there. In college, it would have been Central Missouri State University at Warrensburg at that time. The year we did qualify for nationals, they actually won the national championship, and I think we were the last team that actually beat them that year. And I think it was double or triple overtime that we played them up there in Maryville.
Kim, as you look at the basketball landscape today compared to when you played, and obviously a lot of changes, as you mentioned, the ball size, went down to the 26.5 ball size. Plus they've added the 3-pointer 4 years after you graduated. What else are some of the changes that you see that have taken place? And are you still a fan of the game? And you get an opportunity to be a fan either in person or via television?
Yeah, I watch basketball all the time, whether it's college. I don't get to see as many high school games as I did go up and see the teams play in the quarterfinals because they hosted girls there. So doing that, some nieces that play basketball and a young nephew that plays elementary type basketball. So I get to see those. Biggest difference I see is it's a lot more physical than when I played. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I think there's a lot more athletes out there too. I see a lot more, back when I was playing, dribbling behind your back and between your legs was considered kind of showboating kind of stuff. It's not now, and I can see why. It's a very useful tool. But I think the physicality of it, one thing that I feel, though, I don't feel that there's as much emphasis on shooting good shots, that sort of thing. That's just personal opinion. It's like getting shots up. It's more quantity versus quality sometimes. But if they go in half the time, it's still 50%. You can miss your first. My dad always said you can miss your first 10 shots, but you can also make your next 10. So you can't quit shooting, that sort of thing. As long as they're good shots, I think that's the biggest thing. But I do wish they had the 3-pointer back when I played, and it came out, like I said, I think it was 86. So I was done playing the year after I got done playing. And then,
I was going to ask you that question, if your point total would have been higher if they had the 3-point line, and it sounds like it would have been.
Yeah, I feel like it would have been. I shot a lot of pull-up jump shots, which again is something I don't see as much nowadays. It's either 3-pointer, seems like, and then, I don't think emphasis on the mid-range shot, but I did shoot a lot of pull-up jump shots, free throw, 15-footers, that kind of thing. But I had my fair share of the 3-pointers, especially once I got to college. I was a point guard there. In high school, I was kind of more of a shooting guard, but I still would have had a few more points anyhow.
Again, we are visiting with our 1982 graduate of Rockport High School and a member of the Missouri Career Milestones list on the Career 1000 list, Kim Scammon. And Kim, as you look back, and I find myself doing this as well, is there one game maybe from your high school level or at the college level where you'd really like to go back and play that game again because maybe it got away from you, or maybe it was a game that you felt like you should have won, or maybe it was just the most fun game that you had, or maybe it was the day you went over 1,000 points? Or are there games that stick out that you still replay in your mind?
Always a handful. There for a while until I've gotten older here. I could almost remember every game that we ever played before and everything else. But in high school, the game I'd like to have back is the very last one. Of course, everybody doesn't want to lose their last game, but we again, it was against Tarkio, and we were in the district finals, and we changed the way we had played the whole year on that. We played more of a slow down game, and the score was indicative of that. We both teams usually scored in the 50s or 60s back then, but this game was like a 34-32 game, and I would definitely like to have that one back and play our regular style of game and see how that played out there, because it was kind of sour grapes the way we lost that one. And there's a same way in college. There was when we played Creighton, we lost that. We were 20-0 and we lost that one. There was things that happened in that game that you wished hadn't. I can remember the last shot was a half court shot. I took a half court shot because it was that's all we had left, and it was like somebody stuck their hand up. That ball had gone in. It would have been a whole different type of season. And there's some good games that happened that I kind of replay, and I may kind of give it to my nieces and nephews about how good a game it might have been. Because the quarterfinal game before we went to state, I had probably the best shooting night I had ever had, and I missed one shot. I was like 17 for 18 from the field and 11 for 12 from the free throw line, and so I have to give them digs every now and then of what they have to live up to, in my opinion.
45 points if my math is correct, but
47. I think it was 47. I can't remember. It must have been 7. Yeah, I think it was 47 points. I may have missed my. It was 18 out of 19. I'm sorry. It was 18 out of 19. 11 out of 19. Missed one.
You're better than you remember.
Yeah.
Age go the other way.
Yeah.
Kent, you have a final question? Any final questions here?
Well, what I find fascinating is the detail that you're able to come up with off the top of your head. And I think that's why we all like sports, and we like high school sports. And those of us like Guy and myself, we keep running into people that had a great experience in high school. And it's a real joy to me to be around younger kids coming through and experiencing that live as they're in their youth. So just really appreciate your time, and even more than that, we appreciate hearing about how you played in high school and college. That's terrific.
Well, I've enjoyed it. I appreciate you having me on. It kind of lets me relive the glory days. Relive it a little bit, and I'm living through my nieces now that play ball. I've got one especially that she plays it year round, and she's got some talent there, so I hope to see her playing on down the road too.
Excellent.
Very good. Well, again, it's been an honor and a privilege to get to visit with you, Kim, and maybe we can do it again and get some more folks from the panel in that age group, that graduation group, and visit and talk a little bit more about women's basketball in the early parts of Title IX.
Yep, that sounds like a good plan.
All right. You've been watching Where Are They Now Wednesdays here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.
I'll have the avocado toast minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days.
Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck. And a high-tech Chevy SUV. Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!